Now you might think this is because Lenore's practical, but let's be honest. Lenore loves a good deal more than most people love their families. So Marty, take note. As long as you keep Lenore supplied in hot dogs with a side of people watching, you have a big part of the secret to keeping her happy.
Yeah.
All right.
There's more. There's more. We all know that Lenore has many talents, like the people watching. But let me tell you, technology is not one of them. Changing a light bulb might as well be a scene from Mission Impossible for Lenore. Over the years, I've become her most available go-to support hotline. I receive calls and texts at all hours for everything from changing key fob batteries to assembling whatever mystery gadget she's happened to order from Amazon. One time, she asked me to help her find that thing on her computer. After 30 minutes of detective work, I realized she meant her desktop wallpaper. But here's the thing. Lenore's lack of tech savvy is actually a blessing. She reminds us all that sometimes it's okay to slow down and let someone else figure it all out. Or better yet, let me figure it all out. And you can't talk about Lenore without mentioning Marty. They're like peanut butter and jelly. Inseparable, complementary, and occasionally stuck together in ways that make you laugh. Marty wanted this party to be absolutely perfect for Lenore. And in true Marty fashion, that meant changing his mind about almost everything right up until the final moment. Shelley, I feel your pain. I know, and I have, all the texts and emails as evidence that he debated almost every detail, down to the very last moment. And I wouldn't be surprised if he even tried to reschedule the whole thing. In fact, I know he might have, because I got a call on Friday from a guest who said they received an email saying the party was tomorrow. So if any of you are wondering where the other 150 guests are, they're probably at Costco right now having a $1.59 hot dog and a drink toasting Lenore Daylight. But despite Marty's perfectionist tendencies with this party, or maybe because of them, here we are, surrounded by Lenore's family and closest friends, celebrating 80 incredible years. And honestly, I think this party turned out pretty darn perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet. Lenore, you are one of a kind. Your wisdom, your humor, your love have touched us all. We are so lucky to celebrate you today, and we can't wait to hear about your next adventures. We love you.
Yeah.
It was very nice. I'll have to say that Mary Lee, at another occasion, pointed out a difference in how complementary the two are. We had a fire a couple of years ago in the opposite building, and a lot of people were displaced. And I'm sitting home watching a football game, of course, and Lenore comes home with what we call a fire refugee. It's a woman who was, by herself, lonely, very upset that she couldn't be in her place. And Lenore offered our place. We had a room for her to visit. I thought it would be for a day or so. It was for 3 weeks. And that's how Lenore is. And Mary Lee pointed out how caring she was and how different she was, and she said, Lenore is the one who will take her in. I'm the person that won't take her in, but I'm going to find a place for her. So I think she sent her to Lenore's place. That's how it worked out. So that's how they work together and achieve the objective. The next event is the grandkids. Are you ready for your the grandkids scene together? Do you remember what that is? I only told you 150 times. Don't worry about it. Come on up. You want to do the stage thing or what? Either one.
You can put that right on the stand if you want.
Yeah, we're missing one. Zara's here.
Oh yeah. Explain that.
My older sister Zara is right now at college. She wishes she could be here. And I know she's wishing you a happy birthday with all the love in the world.
Yeah. You remember your stick? Oh.
Pipe, you're first in the one. No, just say yes.
Speak loud.
These are things we love about Bubby.
These are things that we love about Bubby. Bubby's the best, and I'm not saying that because I'm clearly the favorite grandchild. She takes us to New York for Broadway shows because she knows we're extremely dramatic. She's the only member of the family that's willing to wait hours for me while we shop in TJ Maxx and then buy the clothes even though she thinks they're way too inappropriate.
She has unlimited patience, if that wasn't obvious enough, by her marriage to Toots.
She puts up with Toots.
She takes us on cruises and we get a balcony and a butler and none of our parents even get invited. She's 100% deaf but can somehow still hear Toots snoring and opening a bag of chips.
She laughs at all of our jokes even when she doesn't actually hear them.
She takes us on cruise ships, even though I get seasick half the time and don't mention it because I'm too afraid to tell her that I'm gonna barf.
And she puts up with Toots.
She realized we were all geniuses when we learned how to blink eyes. I love Bubby because she always makes me her famous cheesy broccoli.
She's driven me to countless days of school, dance practices, to home, to her house and back. And she always makes me feel so special in the car. And now she stops at Starbucks without me even having to ask.
She's always willing to make new friends and meet new people, even when I'm like, Bugs, can we go home? We're at your mall.
And she puts up with Toots.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
25 hours of rehearsal for that. How about that? All right, now let's. There's another daughter, Sharon. That's right. Sharon, you here?
Yeah, the favorite.
The favorite. That's what she says.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I just want to take a moment to recognize the incredible, the legendary, the most badass Bubby and matriarch of the Schneiderman clan, Lenore. For all my life, she has been my safe place and my North Star. To say we have a close relationship would be the understatement of a lifetime. We can share our thoughts over a single glance, and I know exactly what she's thinking. And it's usually a complaint about Toots. Because of her, I'm a lawyer, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I try to emulate the way she has lived her life, with grace, with laughter, with the patience of a saint. I count myself lucky to have gotten any of her characteristics, although unfortunately for me, I came out an exact carbon copy of my dad. Small boobs and the ability to annoy every single person in the room. She puts up with our shenanigans. She has a keen sense of direction. She taught me there's almost nothing better than to curl up with a good book and a hot cup of tea. She toots her own horn because no one else will. She makes a house a home. She shows up. She leans in. She's generous with not only her money, but with her time and her love. She celebrates the big and little milestones. My success is her success. And I see parts of her in my own daughters, and that fills me with a sense of unadulterated pride. She taught me strength, not by telling me to be strong, but by showing me what strength looks like. I mean, come on, she's endured being married to Toots for 58 years. She loves unconditionally and consistently, and I'm forever grateful to be the favorite child. She's my best friend and the center of our universe. Mom, today, don't count the candles, just enjoy the glow. We are the lucky ones to bask in your warmth. All I can say is, oh my God, I'm turning into my mom!
To clarify any ambiguity, I'm the one they're referring to as Twits. Now, we're going to get ready for the play, but right before the play, I'm going to ask Jane Lang, an old friend. She's the founder of Atlas Theater Productions that changed the section of DC. One of the most prominent civil rights lawyers in the area, in fact, in the country. But more importantly, we shared Seder after Seder together. It took her 20 years to figure out that when I'm saying Hebrew, it's really fake Hebrew. But she finally found out. Here she is, Jane Lang.
You want to hold it? Okay.
In 1970, when I started as an associate at Steptoe & Johnson, all of my colleagues were men, as in law school. I was utterly bereft of girlfriends in Washington. That is, until I met Lenore. In the spring of 1971, our friendship was sealed at the first of 50 Seders we've celebrated together. She made chicken Kiev, that old Jewish recipe. I was impressed that she was unafraid to start traditions of her own. The meal included, of course, Lenore's signature matzo ball soup, and every year since, we've debated whether this year's matzo balls are in fact the best of all years. Our two oldest children, Danny and Shelley, and my Jessica and Ben, attended the same preschool with Siri, not the Siri of the 21st century, but a real live woman. And we shared outings to the zoo and the Lafayette School Festival. And this is important, we knew each other's mothers and siblings. And I confess we shared gossip about certain Steptoe partners and their spouses. In later years and across the decades, we celebrated weddings and bar and bat mitzvahs of children and grandchildren from Mississippi to Boston. We co-founded the Margarita Society with Myra and Jerry Barron, although the origins of that elite organization escape me at the moment. And along with my mother, Lenore and Marty even attended at least 2 of my amateur cabaret performances. Now, that's friendship. And in fact, Lenore gifted me my performance outfit, a long black dress and a merry widow. Lenore,
Which I couldn't fit in.
we've shared a lot of laughs and occasional tears. You've always been there for me when I needed you, including a day back in the 1970s when I burst into tears as you opened the door to me on Northampton Street. I won't ever forget that. I'm profoundly grateful for the good fortune that brought Marty to Steptoe, and thus you into my life. May we look forward to more laughter and matzo ball soup. And I'd like to order up some of your chocolate dip macaroons for Passover for every year for the rest of my life. I really love them, and you too.
Frankly, I'm not a big fan of those macaroons. Now we're going to get ready to do the show. I don't know if Ken Ludwig is on, but let me tell you.
He's on.
Okay. What happened is, you might not know of Ken Ludwig. He's a very famous playwright. He is now the most published and produced playwright, living American playwright in the country. And that's since Neil Simon passed away, which is bad news for him, but good news for Ken Ludwig. And he's been, he's an amazing playwright. And one thing he did is he wrote a play that included a Martin Schneiderman in the play. It's clearly his best play. And he's had much success with it. So Lenore felt, and we all felt, it's appropriate that he do so with Lenore. And he said, if you give me the blueberry cake that I like, I'll do it. And there's been 38 blueberry cakes, and he just keeps putting it off till he gets the blueberry cake. So I'm going to get revenge. So I wrote a play with insignificant editing from Ken Ludwig. So if you like it, it's mine. If you don't like it, it's his editing that screwed it up. And we had trouble finding the appropriate actors here. First of all, to play Marty, is a real effort. But Paul Landrosik, an old friend and partner of mine from Steptoes, grandson, is a terrific guy, terrific actor. We've gone to see him at least 6 or 7 times in Reston. And then we try to find someone for Lenore. We did a countrywide search to come up with Lenore. We couldn't come up with anyone for a long time. It was a problem. And finally, Josh's mother said she would do it, and with short notice. It's amazing what they've done. So with that, I'm going to present Lend Me a Lenore. But before that, we have an announcement. Paige, you have the announcement before we have the show, please.
A couple of announcements before the play. First, we ask you to silence your cell phones. Since many of you are friends with Bubbe and Toots and close to 80 years old, I'll assume you don't know how to silence your phones. We have plenty of teenagers here for tech support. If you need help, raise your hand. Also, this exit is supposed to be used for emergencies. Please note, even if this play is horrible, that's not an emergency.
All right, our actors ready?
They're ready.
Oh, here they come.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
All right.
Do you want to just leave it here, or do you want to use the mic?
Put on
Yeah.
the stand.
Thank you. The mustache is back in season.
Is Lenore home?
Hi, Mary Lee. She's out doing some favors for someone. You look different today, much shorter. How come?
I don't know for sure, but you do know I love to bake. Well, I was baking bread and you used too much shortening, so maybe.
Getting shorter from shortening bread? That's just crazy. You know, good thing your husband's a shrink, but I suppose a shrink's not what you need for your problem. What's up?
We have a problem. An emotional support animal dog is having a number of diarrhea accidents in the lobby.
Oh. Well, tell him to take the kaopectate and call Lenore in the morning. What do you want her, on the cleanup committee?
No, the president of the board wants her to have a heart-to-heart talk and fix the problem.
Well, who's the owner?
He wants her to talk to the dog, not the owner. One-on-one. She has a way of finding the problem and fixing it.
Well, she is good at talking through problems, but I've never seen her talk people or dogs out of diarrhea. You know, come to think of it, she's fixed some people with talking diarrhea.
Enough of that. Have her call. I could also use help on the legal issues.
Oh, legal problems? Heck, I can help with the legal stuff. Tell me about it.
Nice talking to you. Have to run. Have Lenore call as soon as she returns.
Who's there?
It's just me, Mary Lee.
You look so different.
Well, I had my nails done.
So, you want that legal help?
No, I need to ask Lenore whether she can feed Mr. Whiskers the cat this weekend for the Zuckerbergs. I can't do it, and you know how much he loves dogs and cats. I'm busy doing vaccinations.
Didn't you just finish days of vaccinations here?
Yeah, that was for people. This is vaccinations for dogs and cats. There's lots of neurovirus and pet diarrhea going around.
I understand the problem. You're busy, okay, but isn't there a Mrs. Whiskers to take care of him?
Mrs. Whiskers died months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I didn't even know Mrs. Whiskers was ill. I didn't know there was a Mrs. Whiskers. You know, thoughts and prayers for the entire Whiskers family. But you know, this weekend there's all-day college games on, and Saturday there's the NFL.
We know you don't really care about the Whiskers family, and Lenore doesn't really care about football.
Yes, I prefer she keeps me company and keeps me well-nourished.
You may have problems, but nourishment is not one of them.
What are my problems?
Nice talking to you. I have to run. Tell Lenore to call me when she gets back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so busy, and now all the grandkids need to do more shopping for school.
Oh, hey, Toots, you look amazing today. New hairdo. I just can't believe you're now 80 years old. You look so young.
No, I'm just acting young. Hey, look at yourself. You are looking younger and thinner. In fact, what happened to your multiple chinny chin-chins?
Oh, yes, you know, they used to say I need to find my chin with a bookmark. But today, no multiple chins. It's amazing. Let's just call it deception at a reception.
You can say that again.
Deception at a reception.
When I say you can say that again, I do not literally mean that you should say it again. It's only a saying that I agree with you.
Okay, then why not simply say, I agree with you?
That would be better. I agree with you.
You can say that again.
Stop it now. Hey, did anyone call or come by?
Not a soul. No. No calls, absolutely quiet. Oh, well, earlier Ken Ludwig called.
Well, tell me about it. What did he want now?
I can't tell you, but remember he promised to feature the Lenore name in a play? Well, finally he's doing it, but I can't tell you the name now.
Why not?
He said to keep it for a high point in the play in the next scene. You know, I don't think there is a high point, so. Also, I actually don't like the names or even the ideas of the show with his name. Mr. Ludwig, you out there? Can I vary from the script and say the lines now I'm going to say later?
No, stick to the script. Although, as most of you know, I didn't write the script. Marty wrote it. If I wrote the script like this, I'd be in the poorhouse. I am in the poorhouse, and it's all thanks to Marty. I don't work anymore, thanks to Marty. I don't have the time. He forces me to watch him count the hotel and airline points he gets on his credit card, which takes him about 8 hours a day. Marty's salmon and Wagshalls, he makes more money than he does counting hotel points. But you know what happens to actors who vary from the script?
No.
Well, no one knows because it doesn't happen. Because my words are not, people know that my words are not to be trifled with. You know, capital punishment is still legal in this state.
Okay, Marty, did you eat the sandwich I left you?
Where did you leave it?
In the refrigerator.
You usually put the sandwich on the TV tray.
Yes, but that's when I'm home, I do that.
Well, that's my point right there. Now, you see, if you were home rather than cavorting around helping friends and family, the sandwich, the refrigerator, the TV tray, and me would be having a joyful time together.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Is it too much to ask that you get your fat ass off the couch and place the already made sandwich on the table?
That is most definitely not a simple question. First, it includes a false assumption of a fat ass, which I certainly do not possess. Second, it assumes that I have been told about a sandwich in the fridge, which I was not. And third, your question does not describe the content of the sandwich, which surely is needed to make the decision whether it is worth moving my modest ass from the couch and away from the TV. Now, if you, for example, made an anchovies and cottage cheese sandwich on Wonder White bread...
Stop already! Well, I'm not going to spend any time arguing with this silly point.
Hold on. Everybody knows that we never argue. Now, a discussion, yes, but never an argument.
Yes, this is an argument.
No, it's not.
Let's agree. We will call it a discussion-ment.
Okay, so you have time to do all sorts of favors and errands for family and friends, but you don't have time to spare the time for a discussion-ment with me, your husband of 57 years?
Let me understand what you're saying. I spent 57 years with you as your wife, and you're complaining about insufficient time together? Perhaps you forgot that before retirement, you spent almost all your time on step-toe things.
Well, that's not entirely true. There was also basketball 3 to 4 times a week.
Well, while you were doing your things, I carried and cared for our 3 wonderful children.
Wonderful children, yes. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Discuss among yourselves.
While you were helping defend large companies, I was doing my thing, helping family, friends, pets, and community. There is a great, great joy in giving. Being a giver is actually more satisfying than just being a taker.
Well, you are happiest when you're giving, and for 57 years, I'm taking just to make you happy. By this time, you're so happy you're whistling Dixie out of your...
Stop it! Granddaughters are here.
Okay, well, while you were giving to the community by being elected to the board, I was just bored. Guess I'm better at the taking thing than the giving thing.
Well, we need to figure out how to get you out of this funk.
Heavy stuff, huh? You see the drama that needs resolution? First, what is the new Ludwig play that gives Lenore the prominence she deserves? Second, will Lenore figure out a way to make Marty happy at the promenade without rendering the show an R rating? To be resolved after the shortest intermission in Broadway history, taking only 10 seconds. Mill about.
You mentioned that Ludwig called about the new play. It's about time.
Yes, long ago, Ken promised that he would write a play using you in a prominent role.
Yes, he promised it many times. I'm excited about that. He is a brilliant, brilliant writer.
Yes, that's what it says on his website in big, bold letters. Also, we cannot trifle with the script.
Well, did he tell you about the show?
Yes, he's working on 2 projects. First, a takeoff on Aristophanes' Lysistrata. In the original, the ladies withheld sex to stop the wars. In the Ludwig update, Lenoristrata, the ladies of the coup band together, depriving the men of their weekend sports TV by withholding food. The ladies shot for nothing, and they cooked for nothing.
Great idea for a play. Even better idea for an actual play.
Hey, whoa, don't get any ideas, all right? It's a real bad idea. Some could get hurt. We have friends with diabetes, and withholding food could become ugly.
True, some may have to suffer, but the cause is worthy.
Yeah, and the other project is Romeo and Lenore. In this play, Lenore, a beautiful 80-year-old widow, you already can tell I have some problems with the premise, her 98-year-old mother objects, so Romeo sneaks poison into the wine bottle. Unfortunately, the bottle is used for the Passover Seder, and they all die after singing Dayanu. Yes, a tragic ending, but lots of good mother-in-law jokes along the way.
Sounds fantastic, but look at the time. I need to head out and go shopping with each of our grandchildren.
You need to take each of the grandchildren shopping one-on-one with you? You realize how much shopping that is?
Of course I know. 6 grandchildren who need to be dressed each for 4 of the seasons. That is 6 times 4 is... well, it's a big number.
You do realize that these grandchildren have parents.
Of course I know that. I need to take them shopping too. That's 6 more wonderful days of shopping.
Oh, did you meet with the dog to resolve his diarrhea problem?
Yes, the dog is a Polish Rottweiler. His name, Paul O. He was just expressing his need of companionship, so I fixed him up with Mr. Whiskers, and they are great friends. And Mary Lee is going to vaccinate them next week. Now I have time to go shopping.
Speaking of shopping, I have a question about a bill from a place called Lululemon. Did you buy a car at Lululemon?
They don't sell cars at Lululemon.
The size of this bill here suggests the car was purchased there. What do they sell at Lululemon?
They sell leisure clothes, yoga outfits, clothes for meditation.
They should meditate and have a spiritual awakening on how stupid they are spending all that money to dress up for meeting with their inner selves.
Actually, you should thank Lululemon. On the same day I was there, I found something I think will solve your retirement blues. I'm confident this will change your entire outlook. In this package is something called a pickleball set.
Yes, I've seen the promenade kids, you know, the 70-year-olds out there.
Yes, and in this game, you'll learn to be a giver, the serve, and then the taker, return. And you will find a host of new friends, or at least one or two, if you keep your trash talk to a minimum. Your outlook on life will change. You will learn to cook, well, maybe not that, but you will too find great satisfaction by serving pickleballs to your friends and family and community. You will not be a slave to the sports TV over the weekend.
Ah, thanks, Toots. You are so right. And when I say right, I mean you are so right for me. I am indeed the luckiest man in the world. Now shush, I have to watch the Celtics game.
Who has to follow that? Wow.
Marty, you okay? Need help?
Oh yeah, now to the tough position for that, I gotta call my son Daniel. Danny, come on up here, huh? Following that. My son gave me 5 pages to read while he's the greatest son, so I told him, no, I'm not gonna do that. But there he is.
All right. Hold on, wait a while. I want to see what I have to say. I was asked to talk a little bit about Lenore's professional career. As some of you know, Lenore graduated from George Washington Law School. I won't say what year, so as to not give away her age. As one of only a handful of women at the time, she did very well. She passed the bar on her first try. Despite this achievement, as told to me by my father, that period of her life was principally devoted to adjusting to her new role as fiancée and then as a newlywed. Marty told me that he was helping Lenore prepare for a constitutional law exam, and noticed that many of the pages...
Professor is here.
Professor Barron is here. Don't listen to this part. And noticed that many of the pages seemed completely untouched. And he said, "What's going on here? You need to understand due process." And Lenore said, the most pressing process due is dinner. That's not going to happen if we have to wait for you to take a course on how to light a stove. Well, that story may not be exactly true or even remotely true, but it correctly reflects Marty's recollection of and Lenore's early and continuous commitment to devoting her life to those she loves. First to Marty, also known as Dad, Toots, and Tootsie to his grandchildren. After law school, Lenore accepted a position at the Federal Trade Commission, where she was protecting consumers from fraud. And our country, no doubt, would be free of consumer fraud if only she had stayed there. Unfortunately for consumers, but great for me and my sisters, she decided she wanted to be home with her infant children. My sisters, particularly Shelley and I, made sure that this decision would come with a cost. When we kids got a little bit older and were in school, Lenore was ready to go back to work, but it had to be part-time. In those days, those positions were rare, but Lenore was among the first employees to enter the federal government under a new law that permitted hiring half-time employees without taking a full slot. She was hired at the Justice Department in the antitrust section, directly involved in breaking up the Ma Bell monopoly. And for the younger kids here, that at the time, that was the phone company before everybody had a mobile device. Marty said she was the person most responsible for the demise of that monopoly. But as we all know, Marty is a bit of a bullshitter. Having fixed the domestic market, Lenore signed on to international oversight of the nuclear industry with the International Atomic Energy Agency. She sometimes had meetings in Europe. And the good part is that she often brought a child with her. The bad part was that the other 2 children were left behind with Marty. And Dad is
wonderful and smart, successful lawyer, but frankly, his homemaking skills are a bit deficient. For dinner, the only thing he could make was reservations. Many kids do not appreciate the mother's commitment, but those trips really highlighted to us how lucky we were. After a time, the travel and the work did not hold Lenore's interest. She realized that she wanted a job with more human contact. Everyone recognized that she had a special set of skills for resolving conflicts, so she decided on a significant change. She took a job with a divorce lawyer, learned the business, and then opened up her own practice. Bubbe became a prominent and very well known in the divorce field, and even ended up running the Montgomery County Women's Bar. Eventually, when divorce became less appealing than Marty, Bubbe retired to be with him full-time and family. Bubbe is dedicated in all of her relationships as a friend, a wife, a mom, and a grandmom. And I have been extremely blessed to have Bubbe as my mom for 54 wonderful years. All of them
I got a suggestion. We take a few minute break, people get some coffee and a little bit of dessert. We still have some more speakers. So you want to take a 5-minute break from our business meeting and we'll get there. And so is that a good idea? Oh yeah, absolutely. After the break, yeah. Oh yeah, we got it.